Okay, we're back. I believe last time I managed to accidentally lower the volume again. Which is great. It sometimes happens, and I'm pretty sure I made sure not to have that happen this time, but it still happens. So I do need to be a bit careful. Right. I do hope some of the music starts coming on, though. There we go. I'm just gonna check to make sure that I didn't set it too high. No, it's the correct value. Okay. Just sounds a bit loud to me. So I adjusted the headphones to the quieter sounds. If you're wondering why I did that and didn't check that, well, I don't know. It's a slider on my headphones. A little spinny wheel, which can itself be adjusted. No problem at all. By things outside of my control. So, right, anyway, the Clockwork Workshop is actually +3 production. I'd say that's fast enough, as well as the automation clock. I'd say it's fast enough in order to justify doing it before the Marble Core. Not the clay pit. Fine, I'll do the clay pit first. And then Marble Quarry. Tunnel Canal, Step Reckoner Manufacturer, Rendering Plant, Coal Mine, Steam Crane, Antique Workshop, Emporium, Paved Roads. Okay, then I need to set up the requirements for the Lyceum. I've already done the sewage requirements. For sure. It could be that the sewer system was the last building built. No, that was the aqueduct. Okay. I need the Grammaticus, which I'm missing. Fine by me. Let's also build the Arboretum. It's too valuable of a building not to build. Here's I did miss that city somehow. Not sure. Anyway. Try to survive this, please. Please. Oh, we still haven't done the biology lab. Okay. It's fine. Take your time. What should I talk about this time? You know what? Romanticism and the Enlightenment. Sure. That actually sounds reasonable. So, the Enlightenment was probably one of the more interesting, well, what is a name for a European trend in philosophy in general, I guess. Yeah, philosophy in general is probably the best way to think of it. Can't force there, nor there. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I can build factories on ice, so that's something that I can make useful. Of course, in order to build a factory, I need assembly line and refrigeration. Yeah. Well, refrigeration in order to build it in the colder areas. Okay. That's when I can start really using those towels. It's going to build the Star Fort anyway. I'll just avoid building the Serpent's Quarters. There's not, and the Drawbridge. It's just not enough of a reason to actually build those. Okay, tattooer. Let's also build that bridge. So I need the tattoo part. There you are. Okay. I can leave the city alone for a while. It's gonna take a while for it to get through all those buildings. What was I talking about? Oh shoot, I actually forgot. Yeah, I don't actually remember. Oh no. Hmm. Oh yeah, okay. Enlightenment versus Romanticism. The Enlightenment was a period of thought in European history, philosophy specifically, in which people started deciding that theology, there was that you didn't need to ascribe to a higher power in order to justify your thought. Yeah, I've pretty much done everything I could. Can't build forests that far north. Oh, and I should replace. Oh, great. Forest program again. Okay. There, that's that city done. I think the Grammaticus is already built. I'm missing something. No, I have those things that are necessary for the... Yeah, okay. Hmm. Am I missing the Grammaticus? No. Let me just build the university and the arboretum and hope for the best. I don't have much else to do, really. Yeah. The Enlightenment was perhaps best described as a what eventually led to the idea of secularism and perhaps a bit more thoroughly the idea that you do not need a god or gods to justify your morality. This is actually a fairly common idea, even if not popular at all. It's just that for the more scientifically minded people, it was a lot more difficult, well, evidence, I guess, minded people. It was a lot more difficult to justify it because so many things in the world just didn't make sense. Like, how do you justify not believing in a, how do you explain all these vast and amazing animals if not for some creator being that thought of all these things? And then we discovered evolution. Or at least managed to get a good description of evolution that was plausible, viable, and somewhat viable to test. And backed previously obtained knowledge. Reptile still outside of the city limits? Because that would be so strange. Yes. Okay. Okay, I would lose 9 food, but that 8 production and 6 commerce is worth it. Yeah, biology lab is way too far away to worry about. And that's a locust swarm. I'll just ignore it for now. Keep upping your combat abilities. If your stats are high enough, if your promotions are powerful enough, you can take down any barbarians you run into anywhere. Even if on accident. Honestly, I should get you both farming XP. Yeah, the Enlightenment was also where ideas like, the ever important egalitarianism started to become more and more prominent, which I find is a very much a good thing. Some people will disagree. Those people think they're better than everyone else, or think that sucking up to the people that they think are better than everyone else will allow them to climb the social ladder for easy. See also the sycophants for dictators, fairly consistently. And it will end up becoming the basis for certain ideas like early liberalism, socialism, secularism, and more modern conceptions of freedom of religion, instead of the classical conception of, oh, we're all researching, we're all, worshipping the same god. You're just doing it wrong. The Roman way of doing things. What happened to the lumber mill? Did it get pillaged or burned down or something? Or the even earlier bit of, these are our gods, those are your gods. They have different jurisdictions. Just a few more turns of building up XP, and at least one of my ships will have Blitz. Without the downside either. getting Blitz via Sea Hunter tells me that ship of the line is weaker against wooden ships, but it will be able to attack so much more often. Yeah. Of course, all these ideas were um, kind of revolutionary at the time and very dangerous to the continued stability of divine right monarchies.
I set about seeking a thread, a theme, a style, in the realm of legend. Something that might allow me to give free rein to my juvenile sense of romanticism and a beautiful image.
Which led to the rise of, divine right philosophy, political philosophy. This was the immediate reaction to the Enlightenment. The later reaction to the Enlightenment, after the whole thing was said and done, pretty much, was in essence Romanticism. This was the romanticization of, pretty much the Middle Ages. And in a way, it was a reaction to how, basically the Renaissance and the Enlightenment liked to treat the medieval era as a time of backwardness and barbarism and etc. To the point of parody. Because while it had its issues, it was never that bad. And such is true for a lot of things. Just stop retreating, please. There is no reason for me to work this tile. At least not until I have refining. The hydrocarbon will get me a lot more out of the tile, but until then, there's not really a point, or at least a good point, to doing so. So, please stop retreating. Gets annoying. Yeah. Romanticism was the reaction after that. Which, well, yeah. Treated knights as the pinnacle of, nobility and whatnot. Which, do I need to make my own opinions of the aristocracy known? No, probably not. I've spoken enough of it on length in M&T. Suffice it to say, I do not view the aristocracy in that much of a positive light. I very much dislike the aristocracy a great deal. Maybe a little overly so. But it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, because this is next to water. I can build a workshop here? Strange how I can't build a factory there, but maybe very far down the line before such a thing is possible. But yes, Romanticism was after the fact. It tended to view the future as, well, grim and inhuman, while the past was the pinnacle of human society, when men were truly men and women were truly feminine, etc. And the moral people were the ones that actually made all the decisions, etc., etc. I'm being overly sarcastic, but it was very, very much a conservative view on the world. And what do you know? I'm not a particularly conservative person. Well, no, at least not when it comes to science, religion, politics, culture. Yeah, pretty much a lot of things. I mean, sure, you could probably call me conservative on a few things. Good luck finding anything that would actually be correct on that, though. Change is very much a necessary part of life. It's how the world works. The only... I mean, okay. Beyond the basic fundamental laws of reality, the only constant in the universe is change. Oh, neat. Finally getting ready to set up a new city. Come on. That is why I'm looking forward to picking up the Blitz from Sea Hunter. Allow me to bypass that, at least. I can just keep it a guess. This one will have Sea Hunter 4. I think. I'm not 100% sure, actually. Okay. You finished Ancient Customs. So, the Tannery provides +6. The Carpenter provides +5. Yeah. It guarantees outpaces everything. The Levy provides +6. The Foundry +3 because the city somehow already has a forge. But correct. Somehow I have something that gives me forges for free. I don't know what it is. I don't remember building anything like that, but it is what it is. Okay, the apprentice bookshop comes first, though. So 3.5 turns? Okay, I'll take the straw gatherer. Guildhall is also fairly fast. Those 6 turns. You know what? No, no, no. I miscounted. There. These two. And then the Guildhall. Workhouse, 7 turns. Okay, those two work. Wait. Oh! I need the engineering school. I need a trading post. Right, I can't do anything without knowing what the engineering school ends up being like, which is 11 production over 23 turns. Fine, I'll build a rover. Someone attack me? Message log, go. Yeah, Viper attacked one of my hunters. Oh, that was dumb. Yes, C-104 can attack multiple times per turn. And now I can just do that with that ship. This one will take some more training to do though. And unlike Blitz, there is no reduction whatsoever to the amount of XP gained. Which is very, very nice. I greatly appreciate those benefits. Okay, I'll probably be sending you up here or down here. I did finish filling up some of the gaps, so maybe up here? Yeah, I could need to start working towards getting to Oguz in order to ensure that this portion is reasonably safe. At least this coastline. Okay. Takes 2 turns to build up. Sure. Fine, I guess. Right, next up is machine tools. But yeah, Romanticism was all about... It ended up becoming something else too. It was a question over what was more important. Human... Was it logic? Or emotions? And in a way... I think Romanticism might have won that engagement, if only because, to some degree, philosophical competitions are questions about, well, who can get the other person misrepresented faster. Let's upgrade you to power steamer. Or perhaps what about it? Who can slander the other better, more effectively? And in a way, I think Romanticism might have actually won that one. Because they did a very effective job of characterizing the Enlightenment, you know, logical reasoning, etc., as cold and inhuman. To the point where it becomes very easy to alienate someone that likes to think a lot. Or something. Yeah. Let's see. Let's not do the portrait painter. I'm pretty close to the photography studio. So it's less reasonable to build that. Whereas emotion is considered, you know, warm, passionate, the very essence of human existence. It is very, I mean, emotions are important, but they are not the essence of human existence. It is just a part of us. It need not define us. Other animals feel emotions. They may not be perfect analogs to our own, but they have their own similarities to us. That is undeniable. Oh, I need to build a bank. Bank, bank, bank. Why can't I see the bank? Must I've already been? No. Where is it? It's in the list of unbuildable buildings. Okay, it's gonna give me money. Right? So it should be in here somewhere. Right? What the heck? Where's the bank? Why can't I build a patent office then? Oh, I'm already building. Oh. This is what happens when I rant about something. My attention diverges to other things. I mean, it's kind of obvious that the wealthiest, just from sheer size alone. Come on, level. Neat. The promotions will heal the ship. Sounds weird, but that's what's going to happen. Okay, let me get that trust bridge and that steamboat port and that wind water pump. Any food buildings? Okay, tea house, city bistro. There. Alright, levy, steam crane, Imperial Fortress. Close enough. Nope. Let's get these two out of the way. Build that wind water pump. On food. Anything? No. Science? No. Yeah, this is Hangaroa. Okay. Jaden Border. I guess pinball, arcade, and rodeo. Sports. It's just one culture. I can ignore it for a while. Yeah. I still need to build this ship up. I need to get it so that I can... Because like, it has minus 25% versus wooden ships. Sure, it has plus 40% strength, but I would prefer for it to have some buffer room when it comes to fighting. Obsidian. Neat. And honestly, if you can effectively portray your opponent as not a person, well, first off, that's a great way to move towards bigotry in general. See how sci-fi before 2010 has made you know, a lot of inhuman characters be bad at socializing and expressing emotions. Or, you know, for example, Data from TNG. Yeah, for example, Data from TNG, which, perhaps unsurprisingly, was a character that I resonated a lot with when I saw the show. Okay. Right. Imperial Fortress will give me +2. Yeah. Sure. I definitely need the new bridge and the steamboat port. Oh wow, that steamboat port +32 science. Let's get you the city bistro as well. And these two shrines are cheap, as well as the seal enclosure. There we go. The other stuff is going to take a bit longer to build, long enough for me to not want to deal with it, so at least not yet. So another cycle of new, well, for settling a city. Cottage industry, levy, steam crane, imperial fortress, metropolitan admin, patent office, hotel, truss bridge, steamboat port. I'll figure out the rest later. That's just the easy set that I know for a fact that I'm going to want in every city out of the new buildings. At the very least until I research machine tools, which probably get me to go to every city and just say, hey, build this first, please. Plus 20% production is, at least for the bigger cities, a big deal. And something I very much want to ensure gets put to use. Oh, okay. In the process of building the thing. Okay. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. Oh, okay, you've got everything? Right. As for a spot to settle, here feels a bit close. And I'll probably have to end up building a city like here-ish to deal with the interior, so it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah. This side is probably fine. I would prefer to settle against rivers so I can build bridges. Bridge buildings. Although... I guess, yeah. I guess I can try filling in with the interior. I don't need to do it perfectly, otherwise I would have to try to calculate it across an entire continent. I don't want to do that. My head can only handle so much. Okay, so I need a bank and a court. I haven't built the courthouse yet? Weird. And bank. Right, and then after machine tools gets researched, that's the time for another great person. As per usual, probably an engineer or a scientist. Most of my great people points happen to be those, mainly because specialists. Yeah. They are one of the two major sources of great people points. The other one is, unsurprisingly, wonders. At least in the regular Civ 4 game, C2C has some regular buildings that can also assist with generating great people points. Okay. There we go. You can head back here, I guess. And wait a bit. Oh, that's a full forest now. Da 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 ba 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 ha 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 ha. Oh, hello. That's odd. It's not in the city's influence. Great. Lovely. Amazing. Another... Who keeps attacking my units? Is it yet another dumb animal? No, yeah, well, it attacked my adventurer, who's just wandering about well, wandering about Neonesia in search of, well, not exactly in search of anything. Perhaps just best put keeping tabs. It's gonna take a bit for the city to properly do its thing. Okay, right. The mining camp is top priority. But if it takes only 2 turns, I should build it first. Well, that was quick. After that is ancient customs, which I should build before the engineering school anyway, because the tannery tends to be just that good. Okay, so efficiency of 6 per turn. Well, 1 every 6 turns. It's 1 every 14 turns. The Vine Gatherer and Rotten Grove are fast enough for me to justify building those before the lumber camp. And nothing I can build that won't be replaced justifies it, so there. I have to wait a bit for the... Oh, there we go. City to be able to expand its cultural borders. But it won't take super duper long. Like, at all. You have March, so it doesn't even matter. See? It just took a bit, and then it expanded its borders. Already enough for it to... Yeah, it just took a turn. Because the lore, the folklore, is that powerful. The collected folklore of my people. I am not going to get over that.
When a machine begins to run without human aid, it is time to scrap it, whether it be a factory or a government.
Perhaps it's not the time to scrap it, but to start analyzing what it does and keeping an eye on it. Because it's a lot harder and always have a shutdown switch. It's a lot harder to keep something under control otherwise. So, what next? Emancipation is required for the assembly line. which provide a large quantity of factories. And I mean a large quantity of factories. What next? Food preservation allows me to build a cannery, which gets me more food, and a lot more food. There is thermodynamics. It does drop Leonardo's workshop. I'm gonna miss that +1 production for engineers. That's for sure. A lot. I'm very much going to miss it. Construct a water pumping station? Oh. Could go with statistics. I mean, I'm probably not going to build any mathematics departments because ArcCiv, although ArcCiv requires chaos theory, which is all the way in the information era. Here it is. Yeah, so I'll probably end up building it in my large cities that can handle it easily. And by easily, that depends on how much big it is. 5,350? 5 turns. Yeah. Could do marine biology. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, there's steampunk here. There's also railroad, which obsoletes the Via Appia. Didn't build out Scarborough Fair. I don't know. Detroit State Fair. Don't know either. It also unlocks mining ink. Grand Central Station. Ooh, free railway station building. Yep, streetcars, railway station, a few more production buildings. It also causes mining ink to be found. I'm a bit leery on that one. Anyway, I'm gonna need to do this first. Right. Plus 56 production. Let me clear out your production queue because obviously it's been a while. Okay, levy, parts manufacturer, maker, steam crane, fortress, graphite mine. Fine. Sadly, I can't click and drag these. I don't feel like, well, then again, I can just do this. Dink and figure out where the heck the levy went. There it is. Wait. I need to do that in more cities, right? Wait. La Medulas. Wasn't that a wonder? I can't search. Sort by name. Sort by name? Yes, okay. Wait. Notre Dame, Terracotta Army, Spiral Minaret, JS Box Cathedral, Assistant Chef. It's not sort by name. Statue of Liberty, Spiral Minaret. This is as close as I'm going to get. The rights declaration. Oh, that's Medulas. Oh, right. That's the build. Go back to the usual sort. Thank you. Reverse order. This. There we go. Right, I need to do this. Cottage and nursery first. It's faster to build. This. This. You, and you. Okay, first this and this. Jeez. The levy. It's only 2 production. It doesn't matter that much. Iron smelter. Huh. It's actually pretty cheap. Is it cheap enough to consider? Yeah, actually. Another queue that has gone on for way too long. This, and this. Sure, I'll let it finish its production queue. This, and this. Okay. This. No, and this is actually better to build the Imperial Fortress first, because it's just sheer lack of base production. Okay, I think at this point I'm just gonna say enough of setting up my most important. I think I can say that that's my important cities set up. For the others, I can probably just wait out the queue. And then deal with the parts manufactory as needed. Alright, wait there. Drat. Joy. Yeah, even if I get multiple attacks per turn thanks to Blitz, I cannot do ranged assaults more than once a turn. Or bomb bars, so... Yeah, I have nothing better to do than that, pretty much. There are other ways to get XP though. I can just wander the seas. Yeah, fine. I'll have you wander the seas a bit. In hopes of farming some more XP. Try not to sink, please. That would be greatly appreciated if you didn't. Yeah, you can actually stack construction ships. Well, yeah, workships, and only one unit will be consumed. It's a great way to speed things up. In the earlier portions of the game. Well, in the portions of the game, in the instance that you're playing a very, very slow-paced game. Like, this is the ultimate slow-paced game. And this is perhaps a great way of demonstrating why big numbers does not equal good. Give it a moment, stuff needs to load. Yeah, you can see how all the coast tiles are getting worked. The cities are running out of things to do with their citizens in some cases. First aid, animals 2. You have over 5,000 experience points. You need 143 in order to level up again. Ah, the absurdities. What happened up here? Forest burned out, probably. Or jungle. Barren. Don't remember that tile being barren. Ooh! Yeah, etymology and entomology labs, not etymology labs. That's a language study. entomology labs are actually not cheap, so it is nice to be able to get one of those for free. You know, it's kind of ironic considering I was talking about what I was thinking of doing for the Renaissance era drawing last session, and then this guy shows up. Alright. Yeah, there's no way for me to know what's going to happen with those until later. But I at least got the... No, I don't even have the sewer system set up. I also need a fresh water source. Okay. For the Lyceum down the line. But perhaps those can wait. Yeah. There's no reason for me to build a treadmill crane. There's a steam crane over here. There. Those portions are done. That portion of the queue is done. Yeah, it is, after all, a constant interplay between... I want the cities to have good production queues that can keep up with the changing technology. And I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. And I don't want to be bothered every other turn by 20 cities. So... At least the space cities will keep things simple down the line. Though, perhaps that's a bit of a spoiler. Come on, claim the tile already. Salt. Okay. Okay, the clay pit and the resin grove are both fast enough to just buy a building before the engineering school. Okay. According to the guild hall, it's +8 from +15%, so... Yeah, Surveyor's office is fast. No, I should not build a treadmill crane. Don't even think about it. I'm gonna grab the Star Gatherer before I get the guild hall. With this, I can just buy the tandem maker and the canoe builder. And the apprentice workshop before grabbing the workhouse. The foundry is +10%, but I can at least be sure that it's accurate in the production value, which is +5. +8. The treadmill crane. Okay, it's actually +10. I'll try to make sense of this after all that's built. Slowing it down a bit might be helpful. Better understanding what I can actually do and what I can't. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wait around for marine biology and then call it a session. It's just a forest. Okay. Lumber mill it is then. Just wait there. While the worker is doing its job, he will heal up. Because the way healing works is units heal over time if they have all of their movement points at the end of the turn. The March promotion allows for a unit to heal every turn regardless of circumstances. That's why it says can heal while moving. Because one of those limiters is just not there. Not anymore. Alright, let's grab marine biology and call it.
No aquarium, no tank in a marine land, however spacious it may be, can begin to duplicate the conditions of the sea. And no dolphin who inhabits one of those aquariums or one of those marine lands can be considered normal.
Yep. Sad but true. Requires wonders of the deep. Oh, that. Yep, these all of these over here. Well, these three over here are reward buildings. I also get this aquarium and marine biology lab. The marine biology lab is, and also scuba diving site, but I don't care about that one. The marine biology lab must be built and requires a university and coastline within the city vicinity, but the aquarium can be given for free by the National Aquarium. So I'm going to need to build 3 of these. Also, large science buff to multiple scientific buildings. I'll handle the rest of the turning cards. I have to do Emancipation eventually. I know it. But how long can I... Is it justified to avoid it? Well, I do want gaslighting. That's for sure. Is that it? Wow. Okay, so no city management. Okay. No city management needed. Not this time. So Haniera is going to get the next great person. Again, probably a great engineer, a great scientist. There's a decent chance for a great artist, though. I did a great merchant the previous, so it's not possible. It's not impossible for me to get any of, the other ones. It just says it's most likely for me to get an engineer or a scientist, which I'm fine with, because both are really good for scientific and building progress. And buildings are everything. And perhaps also nothing sometimes, but they're a big deal. I'll figure out what to do with this in a bit. Next time. We are approaching the 25% mark, at least on turns. Texture-wise, I'd say I'm more than 40% of the way through. The halfway mark is somewhere in Atomic, I'd say. It'd help if I had an actual ruler or something to get a very precise measurement. Let's see. Let me just grab a physical object and measure the screen. Okay, so this is say 3 2/3 laser pointers, and let's see here, about 1.5 laser pointer. Okay, so 3 2/3 is 4/6. 3 4/6, and 1.5 is 1 3/6. 9/6 versus 26, I believe was no. Was it 3 1/3 or 3 2/3? Let me check. It's a bit harder because it's starting to get dark around here. Is that 2/3 or a half? I'm gonna call it half instead. Yeah. So 3.5, 1 1/2. So 3 halves versus 7 halves. 3/7. Which is more than which is actually more than 2/5. Okay, I'll accept that. Then again, I was counting from the green tech here. Close enough. So yeah, we're about 40% the way through the tech tree. And I'm working on getting production up. Admittedly, I am putting off assembly line a bit because, yeah, this isn't a complete and utter mess. The number of buildings enabled. I can build almost all of these. Requires access to power. Some of these I can build. And I do believe I need a baseline factory. There it is, yeah. Which gets me plus 20% production. Oh, But it takes a bit more investment because I do need emancipation too. So I'm going to go for gaslighting first. I think, yeah, I'll wait on railroad until later. Statistics, that can wait too. So I think I'll go for that, and then Need to see what I get. A cement mill, hydrogen generator. But that's pretty basic. And an obsolete steel owner's workshop, which gives me +1 production from engineers. I'll wait on the thermodynamics until later. It's annoying because I need it. Yeah, I need it for steel though. But I still got nitroglycerin, which gives me even more production from tiles. Also, agricultural engineering to get me even more fun stuff. Agricultural extension. Greenhouse. Corporate owned agriculture. Yeah. I mean, it's the fun stuff of trying to find tech, of both techs being very useful, and then obsoleting the wonders that you like having. Okay, I don't know. I don't think I have anything that obsoletes screw propeller, but I'm still going to wait a bit. If only a little bit. Largely because I don't need the ironclad. The modern workboat just has more movement. Can move through impassable terrain. Does that mean you can move through ice? Hmm. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough. Yes, I very much have. I've started up settling cities again, although the process is a bit slow. Because I'm also want to ensure that this city can get itself a good amount of production. Well, get itself built up properly. Eventually, I may need to start having other cities do this as well. It is reasonable to do that, but I also want to make sure that the city can, in fact, handle doing this. And they also need to be fairly well developed, so... Right now, Hangaroa is the only one with the amount of completed production where I'm willing to say that, yeah, I think I'm fine with allowing it to do this too. Because it's a mix of, I need to build things in order to ensure that the city is doing everything it can, producing everything possible, because that's good. And yet I need new cities, because if I don't build new cities, it's going to take longer for me to set those cities up. Like, I do need to set up a city like here-ish. This is probably going to be the next spot for a city. And then I might place one up here. And then another one over here, I think. Maybe down, not there. I do want to ensure that it's coastal. It would be also very beneficial to place it next to a river, but that is not actually a requirement. However, it is my preference. And it definitely needs to have river access through at least one tile. One of its work tiles needs to have a river. So I'm leery about placing a city right here in the middle. I can get into reasons for this later, but believe me, they're going to be pretty important. Line, specifically for production reasons. And the graphics is already checking a bit. Oh well. I will eventually also work this way, and eventually take over Persia. It'd be nice if they expanded a bit for real. I mean, I don't expect Hati to expand much further because there are musketeers at their gates, and their plus 49% defense is not gonna be amazing for dealing with musketeers. At least presumably not. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.